Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is George Kingori, your online finance guy who talks about all things finance, how you can be able to grow wealth, manage wealth, and become better in your finances. And today I'm going to talk about wealth, looking at the statistics of a certain country in Europe. In this country, in Europe, the average person's wealth, the average per profession is the highest earning profession in this country is 774, or an average of 437,900. That is the median, and the average of 774,900 per year. So the average person who was doing agriculture in France, the country is France, was making on average 774,900, and as per the median, this is correcting for any extreme earners, and extreme low earners and extreme high earners comes to around 437,900. Of the professions that have been ranked in this survey, agriculture was the highest earning. Then the second highest earning was enterprise, so people who owned their own business, who established their own business and enterprise, making on average 501,000 euros, or a median of 220,100. Now here is where it gets a little bit interesting. Professionals, people who are in the professions. The professional who was working on their own, meaning they were self-employed, were earning an average of 644,700, or a median of 385,100. So the average person was earning around 385,000. Self-employed professional, that means a consultant, somebody who is trained, who is educated, and working as a consultant. And here is where it gets a little bit interesting. The average employee was making 98,000 for the mean, that is taking all the salaries in France and dividing by the number of people, but on a mean is 25,300. So 25,300 is people who are employed. And here is where it gets a bit interesting. From the statistics that I've gathered that for you to truly make money and truly make wealth, you have to have your own business. And for you to truly be among the richest people in any country, you have to be involved in agriculture in one way or the other. Of course, in European countries, they're always given subsidies and they're always given money to encourage them to farm. So that could also be skewed in that way. But from what I'm seeing is you have to at least have enterprise, that is, you establish your own business and you entered into agriculture. And from what I am learning is, if you entered into agricultural activity, you have to be very strategic. One, the people who are earning a lot in this survey are people who had acquired lots of land, people who had mechanized their agriculture, people who were able to take it as a professional engagement. So not average gentleman farmer who plants a few things here and there everywhere, but someone who is strategic in the way they are farming, and one who is able to use their products and market them at a marked up value. That's where the second income comes in, which is where his enterprise comes in. So if you are producing potatoes, not just sell potatoes in a market, because then you are the average farmer who will not make the big monies. You have to take these potatoes, process them, maybe peel them, sell them as pre-made chips for air frying, pre-made chips for frying, maybe make them into crisps, maybe make some value addition to the product that you are producing as a farmer. Selling it to an open market will not make you a lot of wealth, but finding a way to get your product, aggregate other products from the farmers and the region, and be able to sell a product at higher than average price. For example, just a rule of thumb, if you take a potato, you might sell 1 kilogram of potato, for example, for 200 shillings. Just an example, 200 shillings. But if you take this 1 kilogram of potatoes, cut them into chips, process them, and fry them and sell them as potato chips that are flavored somehow, you might be able to sell at 1,000 shillings. You've made a profit, gross profit of more than 800%, more than 8 times what you could otherwise have sold, more than 5 times what you could otherwise have sold. So when you've sold it at more than 5 times what you would have sold, this is a profit you're putting back in your pocket. Even if your costs are going to be high, they can never be so high, and you would at least be able to make twice your actual total cost in profit. That is where the money lays ahead. Look at a country like Kenya. The people who call themselves the who is who are invested somehow, directly or indirectly, in agriculture. They have their money in agriculture. They in fact always say, I am farmer number one. Why? Why do people want to associate with farming, especially in Kenya, when they are rich? I am farmer number one. I have this number of chicken. I have this number of cows. When you go and visit them in an interview, a TV interview goes to their home. They go to their country home. Why? They should have gone to their lavish Nairobi home. It's because where the money is not really in the towns, but in the villages. But we have been conditioned as Africans to think that agriculture is a ticket to poverty. So how can you be able to do agriculture the right way? The first thing, you need to avoid chances. Don't leave your farming to chances. Don't depend on the rain to water your plants. Don't depend on nature to not bring diseases to your farm. Ensure that if you have animals, you are vaccinating them on time, you have a schedule, you're able to put things in a certain order so that you do not leave anything to chance. A lot of farmers leave a lot of things to chance. And when they leave a lot of things to chance, they end up making losses over losses over losses. So have a plan for your irrigating, have a plan for your health of your product, have a plan for the marketing, because a lot of agricultural people live to chance. So you just plan, but you don't know when you're going to sell, how you're going to sell. Again, many people do not even think about value addition of their product. So they end up having a product that they have to dispose of fast, and they have to dispose of through middlemen, and they have a glut in the market because everyone thinks that everyone should be planting maize, and when you have too much of a single product, the price goes down, so they end up making losses. But the sharp agricultural people don't just plant things haphazardly. Don't just take chances. And even if there's a glut in the market, they have the capacity to not sell when there's a glut, and hold and hoard so that they can be able to sell when the product prices are a little bit higher. Some of them end up going up the value chain and putting value addition on their products, making additional income. One of the big farmers in Kenya also happens to have a creamery, happens to have a dairy processing unit. Why? Because they have all this milk, and if they have to depend on a milk processor to be able to process all their milk, when there is a glut in the market, they may end up having to throw away their milk. They did not leave this to chance. They have their own milk processing plant, and this is what we are talking about. Then, if you do not have any capital, because again, people think agriculture, for you to make really good money, you have to have land. Then the thing that you should be able to do is ensure that you are educated so that you have a profession. Because remember, the fourth highest earning group was professionals. So you're a professional, you are well trained. Then you find a way of transitioning from employment to self-employment, consultancies, and setting up a professional farm. Because we've seen you get out from being an employee. From number 4, you go to number 3, where you become a self-employed or an entrepreneurial profession. So when you start becoming an entrepreneurial profession, you start leaving the few pennies that you are given and start making and earning the dollars and the euros that you need to earn, because now you have left the small monies, you start entering the big monies. So always have a plan on how to be able to move up the ladder. So when you make some little bit more money in your profession, think about how you can be able to enter into agriculture. How are you going to enter into agriculture, or how are you going to establish enterprises that are not in using your personal time? Because remember, a professional enterprise needs your professional input. But how can you be able to set up a business that can be able to work even if you're not personally involved in this business? Then you move to the second level of highest income segment in this country. Then for you to truly create wealth, maintain wealth, and build wealth for generations, you have to do agriculture. You have to start owning land. You have to start having forestry. You have to start planting trees and fruits and start creating wealth. Again, for you to be able to even double your wealth and become among the 10% richest people, you do not just leave your product to chance, to whatever the market dictates, but you start doing value addition. So you start from professional, ensure you are educated, ensure you have the right professional standing, ensure you move away from employment, start enterprise, start a business on the side that can be able to work without you putting your personal input. Then from there, go into agriculture, then set a value addition for agriculture. Then according to these statistics, you will be among the richest earning people. But we have been conditioned to think that farmers are poor. Farmers are not poor. They just have to do the right things at the right time. If you are employed, think about how you can be able to improve your skills enough to be able to set up your own enterprise and your own freestyle work, and be able to look at it transitioning into an enterprise that you can be able to manage instead of running on a personal day-to-day basis. And that is where you start moving from the pennies to the real money. So that is statistics and how I've been able to deduce these statistics. I hope you're learning, you're growing, and becoming better in your professional life. Enjoy your life, enjoy your day, and keep in touch. Thank you.